Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're hearing us or watching us from. This is the Sweet Action Podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Sweet Action Podcast. If you're a new or returning viewer, we appreciate you guys for coming and kicking with the best crew as always. You got myself, Carlos. Next to me, come on, guys, you got the homegirl, Kelsey. Across from me, you got the homie, Jorge. And in front of me, you guys love him, you guys hate him, it's the homie, John. And of course, guys, it's not no podcast episode with our crew, our teammates, our best friends. It's Xavier and Key holding it down as always. But guys, that is not all. Come on. We know we're going to bring the most talented people out there, the most gorgeous people out there.
Yes.
And come on, we bring royalty to the motherfucking podcast, guys. She was born a queen, is your one and only Lummani, baby. Let's go. Thank you. We're so happy for you to be here. We're honored to have you on here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. It's a pleasure.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
We were all excited. It was definitely a really exciting, like, leading up to this, to finally have someone that also comes from Pasadena.
For sure. I think that's dope.
That's one of probably the starting points that got us. One of the major things that had us excited, thinking, wow, it's going to be a room full of people that are all trying to put Pasadena on the map.
For sure.
And it's definitely an honor, and we're just excited to get that going. So, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out all of Lummani's socials, and everything will be linked in the description. After this episode, you're going to definitely become, if you're not already, you're going to definitely become a big supporter. So let's definitely get straight to it. And I think for anyone that's new or anyone that maybe isn't like too familiar, let's give them where it all started from. You know, let's jump straight into your story. How you came up, where it all started.
To be honest, it all started, to be honest, in my living room. I was 5 years old. My cousin at the time, shout out to her. Her name is Charisma. She was working for Jive Records, and I just told her I wanted to be a star one day. And then I grew up singing in church, and then I've been in the music business, like behind the scenes, since I've been 9 years old. I was in a girl group when I was 14. We were signed to Universal. You know how that goes sometimes. It's cattiness, but it just wasn't meant to be at the time. I left the music business for a while. I was, 20? I ended up having my 2 daughters. And then I took a break from music, but music is my first love. And then I ran into my current manager, which is Spoon. I ran into him in Pasadena at Food for Less. Shout out to Spoon.
At Food for Less? Shout out to Food for Less.
Shout out to Food for Less. Yes, I ran into him at Food for Less, and he was like, yo, you still singing? And I'm like, yeah. But, you know, at the time I was doing makeup. And he was like, oh, man, forget all that. You ain't finna be doing makeup. Like, you're too talented to be doing that.
Okay.
Let's get you back in vocal lessons. Let's do all that. So from there, it's just...
is where it all started. Okay, so definitely that's beautiful right there, how it all happens. Now, where you said it at 5 years old. So at 5 years old, you were already like in your head, you were like, I want to be, you know, an artist. I want to be a star, how you said it. Was there what was the thing that got you going there? Like, was because you said your cousin was involved in the music industry already. Yeah. So was it her influence that kind of got you going?
No, for me, to be honest, it was Aaliyah, it was Selena, it was like all the other girls that I seen on TV that I wanted to be like. But them two the most, Selena and Aaliyah, I just was like really infatuated.
They inspired you.
Yeah, they inspired me to be like, hey, if they could do it, I want to do it too. Like, oh, I want to wear a bustier, and you know, I want to have my stomach showing and the cute glitter bra and all type of stuff. So yeah.
I love that at 5 years old, brother. When I was at 5 years old, I was with my little toys. I was enjoying it like
cool.
that.
So from 5 to, you said up until 9, how did that look like? Because you said that you did a lot of behind the scenes stuff in like music.
From 5 to 9, I grew up singing in church and stuff like that, because that's where like really the foundation of me, like learning how to sing and stuff like that. But at 9, I was doing a lot of stuff for like Radio Disney, Marlon Wayans. They had a cartoon back in the day called Thugaboo, so I was doing like a lot of voiceovers, like, but not like an actual character, sing-overs, you know, for a cartoon that they had. So
what do you say, since you said church, is church like big part of your life, like religion?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Without that, I wouldn't have a solid foundation. Like, I think I would be all over the place.
Okay. So how's singing at churches? I'm not too familiar with that.
It just depends. It depends on the actual religion itself, because I know a lot of people have different things. Like, I grew up Christian, but I've been to like Baptist church, I've been to Pentecostal church, I've been to different kind of churches to sing. So it's just all different type of vibe.
I love that.
So from there, where did you think, like, so you said at 14 is when you stopped?
No, 14, I ended up getting a record deal at Universal with a girl group.
So how did that come about?
Well, it just came about because me being in the business, like behind the scenes, knowing people. It's all how the business works. It's just
knowing people like
that. Yeah,
who you know
and how you know them, to be honest. So it's just like a word of mouth. Like, oh, I got this young girl who, she might be perfect for this girl group. Yeah. And then I end up knowing somebody else who just was like, oh, pull up this time, this day. And then I end up singing in a room full of people, and they were like, oh, okay. This is great for the girl group.
Amazing.
Yeah. When you say girl group, are you talking about like a girl band or like a girl?
No, like Destiny's Child, TLC, actual girl group. Our girl group at the time, we were Bliss at first, and then someone else had the name, so we chose Secret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Can you keep a secret?
And how long did that last?
That maybe was about, like, I don't want to put too much time frame on it, but I believe maybe about a year to 2 years tops. It was just a lot of going back and forth because we had like what do you call it? I can't even think of the name, but it's just like a demo kind of deal for the girl group with Universal, and then they tried to shop us around to L.A. Reid, and then they end up shopping us around to Jimmy Iovine. He's at Interscope. Yeah. So it just was all like that. And then when it comes down to it, there's certain people that be like, oh, I want these two members of the group, but not the other two. So it just we end up kind of just sticking together and riding the wave.
Oh, okay.
That's what's up. So throughout all this, after the girl group, you said by that time you turned 20, you said? Or
from 14 to like I was about 17, I just started being like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Was it too dramatic or like too much like drama or something going on?
It's not the drama, because it's like anything in life. In high school, shit, you're going to have fucking drama everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is
and I always feel like if you can make it through high school, you can make it through any career path that you choose. But I feel like when I turned 17, I'm going to be honest, I was smelling myself. I'm like, oh, the niggas is outside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. I want to hang out with my friends. I don't want to be in rehearsal. Sometimes I think when you're in the business or you pick a serious career path, sometimes I think when you work with adults, they forget that at the end of the day, you're a child, you're a kid, and you want to do kid shit. So
definitely.
I think that's where we're at too. Like we struggle to like enjoy ourselves sometimes because we're too heavy trying to pursue this dream and everything like that. So I definitely understand that. Okay, and then through all of the time, you said high school. Since you were here in Dina, what high school did you go to?
I didn't. That's a shame on me. Yeah, I didn't. I was actually homeschooled. That's the crazy part about it. Okay. I really wanted to go to PHS, but at the time, I did want to go to PHS only because my mom was like really big on, it starts with Pasadena, but my brother was a Mustang, so I was I wanted to be a Mustang. But then I was like, I just couldn't choose between the two, and it was already drama with me being in the music business and then me trying to date outside of that. I dated somebody who went to HS, and then it was drama behind that. So my mom was just like, forget it. We're going to put you in homeschool and let it just be that.
Did you say you're happy that happened, or would you say you think if high school was part of your life, like an actual high school in that sense, you think it would have changed a lot?
Yes, for business purposes, I believe that it would, because I would have had a more solid foundation and more of a fan base. People do know me, and I do have friends like, oh, okay, she dated such and such, or we seen her here, she performed at the Turkey Festival.
If you're from Pasadena, somebody knows.
Everybody knows. And not to say it like that, but Pasadena is like a bucket of crabs. Like if you don't have your crew that you're really with, then they're not really gonna post you or comment on your page or follow you, or so that's how it is, and it sucks. So that's the only regret that I wish I damn, I would have went to high school and had my crew that I was all with,
Oh, definitely. Well, shout out to your brother. I want to say that for sure.
Mustang.
This is definitely a Mustang house right here.
Okay.
But okay, so from Pasadena, so because you said it, you got the love from Pasadena. How has that been? Because like kind of how I said at the beginning, everyone here coming from the Pasadena background, trying to put Pasadena on the map. How would you say that support has been? Or have you experienced support from other places too?
Well, to be honest with you, it's like a 50-50 because I feel like me as an artist, like, I mean, I'm born and raised here. My birth certificate say Pasadena. I'm born in Huntington, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's just like sometimes you experience that your city won't support you like they should.
You're
like,
right on
I think that to me, that sometimes it does hurt. It does make me feel some type of way because I'm like, I recently, for example, I went to the Jackie Robinson parade, Black History Parade. And I was like, dang, they didn't reach out to anybody to perform. It wasn't like it used to be. Like, you know, I control my page. I see what's on there. I see who DMs me. I see who's shouting me out and stuff like that. So all it just takes is really just somebody to mention and say, hey, yo, check this out. Just how it organically happened between you and I. Yo, okay, I'm an artist. Okay, cool. I got a podcast. What's up? Like, okay, I'm gonna pull up because my pull-up game is vicious. So
I'm glad. No, I'm so happy it happened.
Cool.
No,
so you mentioned that you I think you said 17. You stepped away and then you came back at 20.
I came back when I was 22.
22. Okay,
Yeah.
22.
Because you had your kids at 20, right?
I had my kids back to back.
How, that's a good question I hear. How has that been trying to balance, you know, being the mom life and trying to balance your...
Well, for me, I think that's like part of my story, part of my brand of who I am, to show young women that, you know, they can get out there and they can follow their dreams. You don't just have to fall under the title of just being a mom and just being stuck in the house not doing something. Like, you know, there's plenty of things that you can do. You know, I see people all the time just be like, oh, well, I had kids and I can't live my dreams. Shit, I'm going to live my dreams every day. Like, I want to be that example for my daughters. I want to be that other example for young ladies around the world. But also, I want to tell other young ladies around the world, it's like, oh, if I could go back in time, I for sure would wait. Like, I wish somebody would have told me. Put a glove on it. Wrap it up.
No glove, no glove.
Top it off.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I mean, because, that makes sense. We actually talk about that all the time. Like, you know, kids, I wouldn't say it stops people from continuing or pursuing their life goals, but being honestly, it does become...
Put a halt.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely puts a halt on it.
And I'm glad you're showing and you're putting your foot down in that sense. Like, no, like, you know, I love my kids and everything, but I'm still going to pursue.
Exactly.
Like,
it's just a little tougher. And if you got tough, thick skin, then you better be ready for it. That's it. That's all.
That's so cool. Well, so shout out to your kids for sure.
Yeah, shout out to my babies. I love y'all.
No, but definitely. And then now going into that side, Born a Queen was released in 2020. It was right before, or it was right in January, correct? Like at the beginning of 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
It was actually in March.
In March?
Yeah, like right dead smack in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You even filmed a video in like March? And that many people showed up, and I was
we had to sign waivers and all that stuff to make sure.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be really, it was supposed to be really different. Because we only got to use the Mirror campus, and then it was like B-roll of HS and stuff like that. But it was supposed to be girls from Mirror and HS, like cheerleading scenes and all that. Because I just wanted to show the city.
And so how? So when that song came out and it blew up and everything, how much would you say like that changed everything for you?
Compared to my past of me like having a deal and then me being independent now, I seen things differently, money wise. Like, oh shit, it's actually me putting up a budget and me doing it. But as far as like just as an artist, period, no money involved and stuff like that, I really seen the difference of it to be like, okay, people are really fucking with it. Like they actually are listening. Like, I mean, it got 1 million views on YouTube during the pandemic. Everybody was at home on their phone. They had nothing to fucking do. They're just scrolling. Like people was really fucking with it. So I thought that was dope.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Oh, definitely.
And then it got premiered in a Hulu movie, right?
Yes, Darby and the Dead.
Okay, yes.
How was that?
Yeah,
to
like
me,
seeing it.
I watched it with my daughters. I have 2 daughters. So when I watched it with them, I just was like, oh shit. And the scene that they actually put it in, I felt like, okay, my song is the fucking new Mean Girls. Like, I'm like, oh,
they're walking down the hall and everything.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, this is dope. Yeah, I was excited. I was screaming all around the house. Oh, y'all see my shit? It was only like a couple seconds, but yeah.
No, that's an accomplishment. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. I was very proud.
How was the process of that? Did they like reach out to you and everything like that?
Yeah, they organically reached out to me, and they hit me up. And like I said, I control most of my stuff outside of my manager being there when I can, and
of course,
I'm dealing with my kids. I happened to see the email come up on my phone. I'm like, yeah, right, this some scam shit. Like, here's your song in a movie. I'm like, nobody, and that's just me. I'm like, nobody knows who the fuck I am. What are they talking about? So I looked at the email. I screenshot it. I sent it to him. Like, yo, check this out. Somebody's emailing us. They want to use the song. He like, I'll look into it. He came back like, nah, this shit legit. I'm like, okay, yeah. So it was a cool process. It took a few months, but that's a part of the game. That's just how it goes. It's a lot of back and forth, negotiating and stuff like that. But
definitely,
it was dope.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And then your newest single too, Black Widow.
Black Widow, yes.
Yeah. I've seen it all over like your Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really like, I love the video of it though.
Thank you. That, to be honest, that was shot out here too in Pasadena. I just try to keep it relevant, just show parts of the city.
That's so cool.
But yeah, that was a little bit more grown and sexy. So
yeah. I was like, wow, she looks very beautiful.
So what is your process when you write songs? Like how does that go about?
It all just depends. Sometimes I write them by myself. Sometimes it's me and the producer, and sometimes it's another songwriter. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'm the one that's coming up with the topic to be like, because they'll ask me when I'm in the studio, like, what you feeling? What's going on with you? Or, what's your mood? And then I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling like this. Like I had a demo that I came up with, a record, and it's called No Apologies. And it was literally a fucking hat that was sitting in the studio, and it said no apologies. And they're like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, I'm tired of fucking apologizing for who I am. No apologies. Let's go. Here we go. Wow. And that's how it came about.
And where would you say you get your inspiration from?
Just me, my day-to-day shit, what I be going through, my bad breakups, me fucking with this one nigga, and me moving on to the next, and my kids, and stuff that I've been through, stuff that I talk to my homegirls about. Like, it's just, if it's not authentic, then it's not real. It's not happening. No one can relate to my music. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be some solid truth in there somewhere, or it's gonna be a lot of fucking capping.
Going off that, since you said breakups and stuff. So would you say like your relationship life has a big influence in like a lot of your music?
Well, the crazy part is I haven't been in a relationship in forever, although I would love to be one because I think I'm a fire ass girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I do think that it does turn a lot of men away because just what I experience of like it's a situationship, it's a dick appointment, whatever it may be, I feel like it turns a lot of men away because they're like, okay, well, I already know, I'm aware I come with baggage, and I'm not saying my kids are baggage, but I'm aware that, okay, I come with 2 kids, and then it's like, okay, I'm career driven, and so then it's like, okay, well, she's an entrepreneur, she doesn't really work a 9 to 5, so what is it, like, how can I really be serious with somebody that I don't really know what it is or what it's not?
And sometimes it can be intimidated too.
Yeah, it can be very intimidating for some people. I've ran into that problem too, where it's like, hey, and then I personally, just me, my cockiness, my attitude, my just whole aura is I'm not a pick me bitch, so therefore I'm not gonna be like, oh, pick me, but I know all the fucking values that I have. Like I know who I am, I know my worth, I know what I bring to the table. Fuck the table, I know I'm the whole goddamn mansion. Like I know what I bring, so I know what I also offer.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Bon appetit.
No, definitely. I mean, then. So it's been a little bit on the lonely side, right?
Yeah, it's been lonely.
Has there been anybody on your radar?
Yeah, like anybody you're scoping out, you're like, ooh.
Top.
I always be like Victor Cruz, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Victor Cruz isn't the football player?
Yeah, he used to date Carucci. Yeah.
He is a pretty nice, handsome man.
Hey, Victor Cruz, man.
Victor Cruz, shout out to Victor Cruz.
Stop sleeping, yeah. Stop sleeping, brother.
Slide in the DMs, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Nah, but definitely. I mean, we totally see that and all that. And then since we were talking about when you're in the studio, working with your songs, working with your music, I know you definitely work a lot with my guy Morris.
Yes.
Music Mondays.
Yes, I love Music Mondays. Those are so awesome. It's authentic. It's real. It's like, let's just get out here and just show people like we could do something. We're not
So-
just sitting around.
Yeah, is this kind of like a freestyle in a way, or like whatever you're feeling that day?
Yeah, to be honest, it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna play this, and you just tell me what song you feel like singing, and I'll play
It's
it.
kinda like a
Yeah,
vibe
it's a
going
whole
in.
type of vibe. But yeah, I work with my guy Mars.
Yeah. How'd you even like get to get in contact with them, or did you guys have known each other for a minute, or?
Well, actually, my manager has known my guy Mars, but I ran into him when I was at Record Plant. And I was there with Joelle James. She's a songwriter. She wrote a bunch of songs, but she wrote Boot Up for LMA.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was in the studio with her. Yeah. And then I ran into Mars, and I was just like, introducing to all of them. Rans 1500, Mike and Keys. Shout out to y'all. What's up, guys? But I was in the studio with Joelle, and we were actually having a business meeting with her team. And I was there meeting actually with Bob Francis. And I ran into them, and then they just were like, oh, you're dope. Da, da, da. Like, that's just how it goes. They'd be like, oh, you're dope. But like, whenever you get in the studio, and like I said, my pull-up game is vicious. So I'm like, what's up?
you go.
Drop the Addy, I'm pulling out.
I like that.
Yeah.
So doing that process has been cool. Do you have anything that you could be cooking up with Mars soon, or anything like major we could go into?
On Valentine's Day, I dropped another single called Be That Body.
Be That Body.
And then I believe the date is May 16th. Yeah, May 16th, May 19th, one of those. I got to double check. But that's when the EP's coming out, Pretty Girl Secrets.
Pretty Girls.
So that's dropping pretty soon. That's dropping soon.
Yeah, it's
we're
dropping
gonna-
soon. So be out. Wait,
Hey, stay on the lookout for Pretty Girl Secrets.
Pretty Girl Secrets.
We'll find
yeah.
out the date, and we'll put that in there.
Yeah, for sure. I got to look. I'm like, wait.
So can we talk about that?
Yeah,
a
of
little bit?
course. Let's talk about it.
How so Pretty Girl Secrets. How does that title come up for you? Is this gonna be kind of like the overall of the EP?
Well, yeah, this is just the title of the EP. And the reason I named it Pretty Girl Secrets is because I feel like us as women, we don't get to talk about a lot of things. Like, we don't get to tell our truth. It's always sugar-coated. Oh, women don't get to talk about sex, or we don't get to talk about we like to do this or we like to do that. So when I was in the studio with everybody and we were writing and picking songs and beats, I just wanted it to be very authentic. I wanted people to know that, hey, us women do like to fuck too sometimes. So for me, if I'm dating a guy, it's cool to shout out to Eric Billinger, big bro. But I'll put a whole playlist together to be like, okay, I'm not just that type of girl. I like to do it to music.
I like that.
So if I'm listening to people, I'm like, damn, you go back and you're like, fuck, I don't want to do it to Janet all the goddamn time. Any place, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's not really too many girl songs that's telling the truth in their music about what they want and what they like.
So okay, first off, send me the link to that playlist when you can.
I got you.
I'm a playlist type of guy too.
Yeah, my type of vibe.
And my music taste, it gets people happy. Sometimes people give me the look, like, you see what I'm saying, like they don't like it. So I could step up a little bit on that.
Yeah, I got you.
But so hearing that out, so would you say this EP is gonna be, I guess, saying the women's secrets about sex?
It's not just sex though. It's just about what we want in a guy. You know what I mean? Just the truth. And it's no shade to any of the female rappers or any of the other female artists, but I don't know about y'all. I love the record. When I'm in the car dropping my kids off to school, or had an argument with Sneaky Link, I'm butt nigga free. And tap in and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, fuck, I'm sick of being lonely.
Yeah.
The truth comes out. Late in the midnight hour, you be like, oh, damn, I don't got nobody to talk to.
So this is so cool.
So who's your ideal man, let's say? Something you drop.
Spit it right now.
Besides Victor Cruz.
Yeah, besides Victor Cruz. What do you look for in a man?
I don't know.
He gotta be tall.
Oh, yeah, because see, my baby daddy's short, so.
Oh my god.
Nothing wrong with the short. I've been there, done that.
Short kings.
But yeah, somebody tall. I don't want to give too much away on my ideal guy, because then I feel like if I tell what I want in a guy or, you know, what I desire, then I feel like that person's just gonna be capping when they get in my DMs or when they come to approach me. So I don't want to give it away too much, but, you know, just somebody who's tall, somebody who's real, family oriented for sure. Okay. Like, I don't mind if they have kids or not, because I have kids. We the Brady Bunch, nigga. What's up? But, yeah, just somebody who's goal oriented. I don't want nobody who's lazy. Like, I don't care if you work at McDonald's. Like, I'm gonna fuck with you regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those. Like, I can't speak for everybody else because I see a lot of things. Social media has our minds so corrupted to be like, oh, I don't want a nigga if he works at McDonald's, or I don't want this. Like, me, if you work at McDonald's, you just don't know. I might just fuck with you. Give me, as long as my kids get some chicken nuggets and some French fries,
some Happy Meals,
then we're all good. But
getting 2 meals,
2 meals. But just honesty is key for me. Communication.
And I love that, actually.
And you gotta be cute, because you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be like, oh, well, I can't talk to them because they're like, I get looks die off after a while. Like, especially if you fuck with somebody and you get married, you know what I'm saying? Because I do want that in life. But I feel like I have to be physically attracted to you.
In all honesty, I think 99% of everyone has that. Like there has to be some type of physical attraction.
I'm not attracted to you, baby, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
What do you a little side note or side question on that? Is there a specific, like, do you like Latinos? Do you like white boys? Like, or do you just open to any?
You know what? When I was younger, I've never dated outside of my race, and that's crazy. Like, like me and my girls talk about that all the time. You know, I'm like, damn, I never dated outside of my race. My homegirl was talking to a Hispanic guy, and he would never like her to say the word nigga. He's like, don't even say that word to me because I'm not black. But I just would be like, dang, I never dated outside of my race. Now that I'm older, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, I papi. You never know. So I'm like, hey, whatever goes is whatever goes. I'm down for whatever at this point.
Papi it's a very powerful word. you're holding like an infinity stone right now.
For
the word
sure.
papi. Nah, definitely. Well, I mean, we can't wait to hear the EP for sure. Do you any more details we can hear? Like, do you know how many songs are going to be in there? In the amount maybe that
are there any features on there by any chance?
No, not on the EP because it's just me. I didn't want to ride the wave of anybody else. Like
you're telling, I see.
Like, that's so important as an artist, and especially an up and coming artist. I think sometimes we tend to, and I'm just an artist myself, so I'm going to call it like I see it.
Yeah.
But I think that people throw other people on other people's things, and then you get their fan base. But sometimes it's like, how do you really know if that person is really hot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like no features. It's just all me. Maybe a remix. You know, I never know who might approach me and be like, okay, let's get on a remix or something.
You can hit my line.
Okay, I got you. But yeah,
he's a freestyler, so
yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a total of 6 songs.
6 songs, okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
I like that.
yeah.
So it looks like Carlos has an EP coming out too.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Secret.
Hey, I might actually one day.
Yeah.
Stop.
You see how they're
I'll
showing.
be there supporting you.
Don't be a dream killer.
Honestly.
Don't be a dream
We gotta
killer.
stop gassing them up, man.
Nah, definitely. I mean, we're excited. It's gonna definitely be. It's gonna be because that lands around summertime, right? Mm-hmm. That's the
Right
best
before
time.
it.
That's the
Summer.
best time when people are breaking up. Hot girl summer.
Yeah.
You got everything.
Whoa. She hinting at something, brother.
City girls up a million points.
Go to the club.
Yeah, for sure.
She's gonna go to Miami with a girlfriend.
Hey, City
Yeah.
Boys up this summer, bro. City Boys up.
So what do you do for fun? How do you enjoy yourself? How do you balance your work life and just you know?
Well, see, for my fun life, I just like to chill. Like, certain days, I'm telling you, I don't even like to crawl out the bed. Like, I know that sounds so crazy, but
So
it's
you're
like
a homebody?
I'm a homebody. When I was younger, like, I guess because it's me being in the industry, I did the clubs and all that stuff, but not for the purpose of like, oh, I'm going sneaking out and my mom's not going to see me. Like, I didn't get my tattoo till I was 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was very well respected of my parents on that, those decisions and those lifestyles. But like when I was, I think like 17, I was in a club meeting I can't even remember who it was at the time, but I was in a club and I was like, oh my God, this is what they doing here. It gets boring after a while. So for me, I'm just more so of a homebody. I like going to amusement parks. Like, what? We going to Six Flags, Asbury Farm, Disneyland? Oh, I'm pulling up. Like, that's my type of fun. Skating, bowling.
Like skate? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
If I break a nail, then it's like, all right, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm not going to do this anymore. My nail's broken. Y'all got some nail glue because I forgot mine. But
all right, time for me to go home.
Yeah. It's time to go.
And what about because I know you were mentioning right now your parents, are they involved somehow with your dreams or anything like that? How have they been supportive or has it been?
Yeah. My mom and my dad, they're very supportive. They're not together. They were never married, nothing like that. Boo. But yeah, they're very supportive, like very, very supportive. Like I couldn't be any more blessed than
because we
we
always talk about that. We always say like, because family support's a key thing, and then
Definitely.
you know us becoming like a little small family in a sense. Us just having each other's backs really important.
Yeah, that's having a solid foundation of a support team is very, very important. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that. And it's sad to see that people don't have that solid foundation to be like, okay, I got you. Like I said, just as far as the question about people, you know, how do I feel about high school? Support goes as far as that. Like, you know, like people, when you have kids, or you'll see it, your friends who may have kids, you'll see that quote all the time. Like, it takes a village. Like, that's not even just for kids. That's for a fucking business. Like, it definitely does take a village. Like, and I always say for me, like, you know, I see people who are like, how they get their money is how they get their money. But for me, it's like, you can hit me up and you'll be like, oh, repost my shit on my page or whatever. Sometimes y'all don't even got to ask me. I just do that shit off the strength because my valid key point of my heart, my real intentions, I treat everybody how I want to be treated.
Thank you.
Like, it doesn't cost me anything to share your shit because somebody else might see your shit and be like, oh man, I fucks with it. Okay, I need them to do this or I need them to do that. Everybody's so like, oh no, I'm not going to share anything. I'm not going to say anything. And that should be like,
and
really?
That goes back to what you were talking about.
Right there.
Like
that right there.
It goes back to, because you said at the beginning of the episode where you're talking about like, it's crazy how like here in Dina, like, or at least from our experience between everyone here, it's like not everyone here is supportive, and it's like, and it's like when we're all trying to put, like, let's be honest, Pasadena's been in LA's shadow for like the longest, you know, and that's one of our key goals behind Sweet Action. There's a lot of things we want to do, and one of the main goals is just to put Pasadena on the map, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure, because I was maybe about 17, 19. Like, I was out of the business, but I was still, like, taking meetings and meeting stuff. And I'll never forget it. I won't say the person's name, but I was in a meeting with them, and they were like, you should tell people you're from L.A. So I was like, oh, fuck that, nigga. I'm from Pasadena. I don't know about y'all. Yeah. Like, I'm from Pasadena. I'm going to rep it to the day I die. Like, I'm surprised I don't have it tatted on me already. But
626.
You know.
Yeah. So it's definitely, how you said it, having that foundation is very key.
Yeah, very important.
So would you say, because I'm just curious now, as a mom, are your kids very, very big fans and they all 100% support you? They all aware of everything?
Yeah, my kids are super supportive. They're like, they're just like, okay, they're more so worried about like the time frame of when everything is going to take place. Like they don't understand that to be like, okay, mom, you're going to go do a podcast tonight, or mom, you're in the studio, or like, when are we going to finally blow up? When are we going to be like the West and the Kardashians? And when are, you know, like, cause for real, I took my kids to, what is the place at the Rose Bowl? The little kid park or whatever that they have there.
Kid Space?
Kid Space. I took him to Kid Space and we saw Saint West there. And I pointed it out before my kids even noticed. Like, because I see people and I was like, yo, there's Saint West right there. I need y'all to be chill when y'all do notice him. You know, because I want them to be respectful of people's boundaries. Yeah. And then as soon as they seen him, he was really cool. Like, he was with his whole bodyguards in the 9 yards. But I explained to my children, like, one day that may be us if mom does blow up. Like, people are gonna notice you. People are gonna be out, you know. And sometimes when I'm taking them in the school in the morning, they'll ask me different questions, like, what's gonna happen when we go to school? Are we gonna say no cameras and no pictures? Like, they're saying all this weird shit, and I'm like, I don't know. We just have to go with the flow. It's all about timing.
I like that though. They're manifesting it.
Yeah,
and that's a key thing in this industry is you got to manifest this shit.
Yeah, for sure. Speak it into existence. That's the best part of it all.
And then a quick question about the industry: what has been? Because I know there's a lot of up and downs. What has been like the worst experience you've had, like, in the industry with other artists or with other producers, or Or
oh, that's a good question. Y'all want the truth?
Tell the truth.
Give us the tea.
Give us keep it raw right here.
I honestly think the worst thing that I experienced as a woman is like really the audacity of men thinking that you have to be fucking for records.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, that's the truth. Like, that's the honest truth. I hate for it to be my answer, but that's what it is. And sometimes just the honest me, the real me, I feel like, okay, well, you could have caught me when I didn't have no fucking kids and no morals, and maybe I probably would have did some wild shit for a beat. But now I'm 30, like I'm a whole mom out here. I can't just be offering up some ass, like, because I know the value of once I give up the ass, my number's in the trash. You ain't fucking with me like that. You don't take me serious. I'm not a fucking toy. Like,
Can you say that one last time?
if I give up the ass, my number's in the trash. I'm not a fucking toy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I experienced that. Even when I was in the girl group, again, like I was in the studio and somebody like was sitting on the couch. They knew that I was the one in the girl group that was dating, like, because I was vocal about that. Like, oh, I got a boyfriend, and, you know, 14, experience in life. Well, I had a grown ass man reach his hand up underneath the blanket and was like, oh, I know what's up. And I'm like, oh, well, I know what's up too. And I went and like got up off the couch like, oh shit, I really don't know what's up, but let me get the hell up out of here because I don't know. But I think that is sad because when you look at other female artists and you're like, okay, well, whatever happened to this girl? How come she didn't come out, or what's going on? Like, men get out here and they be preying on young girls to be like, oh, okay, well, I know if I promise her this and I promise her that. I always like vent to my manager when we're in the car, we're going some places. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get on a podcast and tell the truth about this shit. And he's like, oh God, what are you gonna say? And I'm like, I always tell him, or I tell my girls, you know, the truth. And I tell other producers that I'm friends with, I'm like, I could get y'all niggas so much pussy. And they're like, what? Really? How? I'm like, nigga, don't just be groping her. Let it happen organically. Because I know for me, if I had a producer or I had a manager, if I had a just anybody that was on Team Lummani, to be like, okay, I'm gonna give her this and I'm gonna put me in a financial situation to change my life, I'm gonna be like, oh nigga, that nigga's getting it. He's getting the business. Like, it just may happen. And you know what? It just may not happen. But you never know. But you have men in this business, and I'm sure that women do it too, because I've heard stories of other people, but you just never know. Like,
that's scary.
You helping somebody could change your life and get a little on the side.
Yeah, and a question I had was, how easy is it to make a bad deal in the music industry? Because I've always heard, like, be careful. Yeah, it's very, very easy. I mean, it's easier said than done. It's easier than spelling easy. I was always told you got to know the deal before you make the deal. And the foundation is like really having the right people around you, having your own lawyer, having your own manager. Like, don't just because you fuck with somebody and they be like, oh, well, I got a lawyer for you, or I got this manager for you. Nah, because turn around, y'all is probably friends and I don't know it, and y'all be telling him what's going on. And the foundation key is reading. My father always told me, I could steal this microphone, I could steal your glasses off your face right now,
fucking
but
bitch.
I can't steal. But I can't steal what's inside your brain.
Too hard at that.
I can't rob you of what's in your brain. Like, reading is fundamental. So you just want to make sure that you're actually reading your contracts, negotiating. Like, it doesn't hurt to say, hey, well, do you think we could change this and go back and forth? Because some people just sign their life away for just pennies. Like, you know, it's just crazy.
It's a scary industry.
Very scary. Very scary.
Oh, definitely. She said she'll take his glasses.
No, you said I laughed.
What the?
No, I mean, from the industry. So I liked how you kept it raw. Like, you were telling the truth, because I mean, it's a sad world out there.
Yeah, it's very sad.
And I'm glad that you're speaking up on it and keeping people on the lookout. Like, you know.
Just be very observant, aware of your surroundings. Like, do you know that, like I said, the intentions, do you know that this person's intentions is really pure? Because a lot of people will put on this face and they'll be like, oh, I got your back. I got this. I got your back. And then they'll be literally two-faced, or, you know, they'll want you to stop being friends with somebody else because they going through problems like that shit. We ain't in high school, nigga. Just because you got beef with them motherfuckers don't mean I got beef with them. I don't fuck with
sister,
it. Yeah.
preach it.
I'm like, I'm not
Trust
gonna.
us.
You're not finna fuck up my bread because your bread done already got fucked up.
I love this.
That's what we not doing.
Hey, if you know, you know.
YK.
Thank
Yeah.
Have you had any bad experiences with even an artist too that they probably like try to backstab you or they try to like just fuck you over in general?
you. Ooh, that face.
Damn.
I had a situation like that, and it necessarily wasn't an artist. It was somebody that I was working with, like. And I'm not saying it like that in a mean way. Like, I wouldn't consider them an artist. I consider them a songwriter. Like, and there's a big difference between the two. And there was just a situation where it was like, that was my girl, that was my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, we built an organic relationship. Like, literally, we met off Twitter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She called me, hey, what's up? And it's all about growth for me. But to make a long story short, I had told her about a guy that I had met, and then she like hit me with the facts, like, oh, you know, I used to fuck him. And I'm like, oh shit. Now me, I'm the type of girl like, okay, well, if that's not your husband and that's not your baby daddy,
That's
like
in the past, right?
that's in the past. Like, I ain't trying to marry this nigga.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really like bros before hoes type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me.
sir.
But it kind of got a little sticky and it got really personal where it was like, oh, well, that was my little connect. And I'm like, okay, well, how long ago was this? Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to marry this nigga. Maybe I just wanted some. I wanted to get laid. Like, don't take it too personal. That's just me. I can't speak for other women, but that's kind of like how the situation went. And at the time, I really was like, big fuck you. Like, man, I'm not finna be dealing with this. But when reality sets in and you know that it's business or even personal, when just you come down off that natural high, it's like, dang, I'm the type of person when I'm scrubbing my teeth, washing my face, or I'm just walking around the house thinking, folding clothes, whatever, I'm like, damn, where was I wrong? Like, did I not understand her side of it? Did I not stand her point of view? Like, maybe I hurt her feelings, you know what I'm saying? So I did reach out, but I'm only gonna reach out a couple of times before you be like, okay, you really don't want to fuck with me, because I know my intentions was pure. Like I said, I ain't trying to marry this nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
He was just there for a good time.
yeah, not a long time. But
We're here for a good time, guys.
Yeah.
Not a long time. Definitely. Oh my god. Before we go on to one of our other parts, is there any other like insider look that maybe aside from the singing and like aside from being an artist and all like your work, what are some things that maybe like you like to do, like that you would have loved to do? You know, do you like I don't know. You give me a vibe that like you seem like you can act.
yeah, I would love to.
Right?
But see, my
Yeah.
thing is like, I would love to act, right? And I've like tried to do that, but then when it comes to like reading a fucking script, I'll be like,
That shit boring.
yeah, I'll get dumbfounded to be like, what are my lines? My thing is like, okay, maybe if they threw me on a reality TV show, but see, at the same time, I've been like behind the scenes of that shit, and I'm like literally had to call my manager, like, man, these bitches is in here punching themselves. So I couldn't be doing this. And he's like, it's reality TV. It's a little scripted. You just got to go with the flow. Cause like I was doing some styling work behind the scenes. Like, and I think if maybe I wasn't like really in the forefront doing acting, I probably would love to be a stylist to style people. Cause it's like, it takes me not that long to get dressed or whatever. But when I'm always around other people, they be like, oh man, you got some fly kicks, or you dress super fly. Listen, you know, and people always ask me for fashion tips. So
Yeah, you definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would love to do fashion. But if like I had to pick like a regular schmegler type of vibe, like for the ladies, I would be like, hey, let me Brazilian wax you real quick. Wax on, wax off. Let me see what that thing hit.
Have you ever thought about?
Show me the monkey.
Have you ever thought about? Because you're talking about fashion, the Lummani clothing line.
Yes, I think about that all the time. Like, it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Stay tuned. It's coming. I'm speaking it into existence. It's coming for sure. But yeah, I think about that all the time. I really think about because I like literally have a whole certificate in makeup.
Cool.
When I was
That's
pregnant
cool.
with my daughter, I like was like, okay, I'm not gonna be just in the house eating fucking donuts and Twinkies and shit. Like, let me get out and do something. So I took a course for makeup, and I did that, and I like still to this day, I won't say what it is, but like I still have not seen it on the shelves yet for makeup. So Rihanna. Maybe we can team up, you know. Rude girl, rude boy. I'm just saying.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Fashion. That's definitely really cool. I definitely see that. I definitely from the start, even on your page and everything. And the day I met you, like the fashion's there. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It. No, definitely. Well, I think now it's time we really start getting into a deeper look, more like a fun side of things.
Oh, let's go.
We guys know, as we always bring great guests and everybody, we always do like little questions where we have people give us their thoughts on what they want to, maybe they're too scared to ask you.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
So really quick, I think we started off with probably the one that you kind of already answered, but maybe a deeper look into it. We had a couple of these, and some people were asking like, you single? They're trying to shoot their shot, but I think we kind of,
I am very much so single, like 6 years single. Yeah.
Hey, but you got to be a tall Cuban papi.
Does
not necessarily Cuban, but I mean,
what else?
If the vibe is right, like I don't know, like
right,
is that really important? Is that really important? The vibe, because
it has to
hear
be
it everywhere.
It has to be the vibe has to be right. Like you know what I'm saying? It's the whole aura of the person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against anybody and what they do, like but. As long as you ain't doing no drugs, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about that white shit. Teach yourself what works for you, but Lummani ain't fucking with it. Okay? So
you just gotta be about your bag.
Yeah, you just gotta be about your bag.
Gotta be a great vibey guy. You gotta be like a nice family oriented. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta be Victor Cruz. You just gotta be Victor Cruz. You have to be him.
Okay, so I mean that answers to all the motherfuckers that were asking, like, are you bad? Or like, you single? Let me shoot my shot. If she approves.
If I approve, you never know.
What's the best pickup line that some dude has tried to do?
or maybe the best thing.
Something that stood out.
Someone that tried to like do.
Pick you
up like the Cinderella one.
I don't know. I'm so corny, but I think for me,
Me too.
Yeah, I'm so corny. Like
me too. I like that corny love shit.
Yeah, I'm a corny girl. Like, oh my gosh, is this your drink, my drink? We sip, we go together now. Like, I'm one of those. But I don't know. I kind of like the risky shit. Like, if a guy pull up on the side of me, he's like, yo, take my number down. Fuck it. And like,
just straight up?
Yeah, just straight up. Just be who you are. I like that type of shit. Like, oh shit, you don't even want my number. You want me to have yours. Like, okay. What was it? I didn't hear it. Say it again.
It's like in Fresh Prince where he's like, here's my number before I get mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So you just prefer more of that like straight up like.
No beating around the bush.
Yeah, no beating around the bush. And
like,
9 times
you either trying to fuck or you trying to like be like.
Like what are you trying to do? Because for me, it's like, in the past 6 years that I've been single and that I have approached men, I'm usually the one that tells them like, yo, I like you. What's
I
that?
like that.
Like, I'm honest. I'm like you.
I
like you. Like, are you single
like,
or where's your baby mom? Like, is she dead or is she alive? Like, that's just me.
Bro.
That's just me. I'm honest.
She gonna be an issue is what I'm asking.
Yeah, like, is she gonna be an issue? And that's another thing for me. Like, I have no problem dating somebody who has children, but necessarily me, I don't come with baby daddy issues. Like, whatever we have in between us, figuring it out between our children, that's between us. You may hear about it because you see me crying and, part of my story. Like,
of course,
my kids got taken away from me because their dad chose to keep them, and I had to fight for jurisdiction, and it took me like 7 months to see my kids when they were younger. So it really broke me mentally, physically, emotionally, all that. You know what I'm saying? But you may hear about that if you're dating me or in a relationship with me, but I should never hear about your baby mama looking on my shit on Instagram, not liking me, and like, bro.
Have you ever had any of that drama?
Oh, all the time.
Ooh.
All the time. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty sure like the other woman, she's like, man, who's this?
It's not even that, because like the initial response to respond that for me would say, oh well, I mean, look at me. But to be honest, it's like I always say, it doesn't matter who it is. When it comes to me, the cocky, humble part of me would say, you can't compete with a bitch that's helping a nigga eat. You can't compete with me. Like, and I don't even like competing with people.
Take some
like,
fucking notes.
You can't compete with me because I'm helping your nigga eat. So at the end of the day, he always gonna come fucking knocking on my shit. Like, whatever's going on over there, I advise you to stay over there because you don't want the smoke and you don't want no problems. So.
And have they tried to pull up?
Oh no, I'm always the one that be like, when I get in my feels, bitch, I'll pull up right now. But I try not to.
Oh,
I pulled up.
How many nails have you breaking?
No, it's been a
How many
minute.
sets have you gone through?
yeah.
I'm licensed to carry, so I don't, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's like I'm not breaking any.
Could you tell us a story?
Yeah, a good story of like you pulling up on somebody.
Well, one time I had exchanged words with this chick, and to be honest with you, I was more calm and mellow this time around. And then I was like, fuck that, I'm about to pull up because I want all the smoke. Like, you thought the audacity, like you thought you had one up on me. Like, and that's really big, don't matter, male or female. But that's really big in that world. Well, with that being said, by the time I pulled up, the nigga was like, yo, like I got caught pulling up. Like, you're better than that. Like,
Okay. He stopped you from claiming.
You're better
Fuck
than that.
hip too, man.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But at the end of the day, I feel like I had more to lose than that person.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because you deal with people like it could be anything. You see on social media all these Karens and all this shit going on. They quick to talk shit, but then when something happens or you retaliate, then it's like they want to play the victim. That shit be gassing me. Like, oh my
and they
god.
try to test you sometimes too.
Oh yeah, no, and then people will know that you have a business, you have a brand, you have all these things going for yourself.
They're
They're
gonna
try to
ruin
cancel
you,
you
yeah.
out. Like, no, don't be trying to cancel
So
me.
you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it?
Yeah, is it worth it? And 9 times out of 10, it's really
It's not worth it.
Like, I'm learning. It took me a long time to learn that silence is golden. Like, because you don't know what that motherfucker's thinking. You're like, oh shit, what are they thinking?
Here's a bonus question now that I want to know. Is there maybe after this upcoming EP, how it's all the love and the secrets getting told? Can we hear like a whole like I'm gonna unload the Chopper EP type of thing?
Yeah, what's
Yeah, like we gotta hear it now.
Yeah.
We gotta start from Lummani to Lummani.
yeah, for sure. I think that would be a whole vibe within itself, because then people would see not just the softer side in me, the lovey-dovey side, but they'd be like, okay,
She mean business.
Yeah, she mean business. I think that would be dope. I'm into
pull
it.
up on
And I was like that. Like I like when artists show all their
different
sides.
Yeah, because I think that our personality, literally our feelings, change like at least 5 times a day. Like we can't control that, but they do. They change. Like you wake up, you control the day that you want to have, but then it could be that one stupid son of a gun that like cuts you off, and you be like, fucking puto. Like
I'm telling you, Cuban. I just said I'm calling the Cuban.
Yeah, that's funny. No, well, at least we took a whole like turn on that, but overall, the question to answer it, shoot your shot.
Yeah, shoot your shot. You never know.
Slide in the DM.
She likes
Slide
that
in the
straight up
DM.
confident shit. You know what I'm saying?
She likes
Yeah.
the Cuban pop music. I'm just saying.
No.
I got you. Now, how about so we could definitely move on to the second question, Kels.
Yeah.
So what's the next question?
So top 3 people you would love to collab with, like artists.
Dead or alive?
How about
Both.
let's try both. Let's do a top 3 from that passed away, and then top 3 that are currently active right now.
Aaliyah, Selena, Tupac.
Okay.
Ooh, that was fast.
Okay.
I love that.
She
knows.
about to do a whole
she's had to
ritual
stop
for that.
her.
Yeah. This person is dead too, but I would have loved to do some shit with Nipsey, like just for the culture.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
think that would be
That'd have been
that would have been
super
really dope.
Rest in peace.
Alive. I would like to do some shit with some Mary J. Blige. Like I think that would be dope. 2 young queens, like
yeah.
I think that would be dope. And then I would love to do something with Bad Bunny.
Hey.
Yeah,
He's going through a lot of different genres.
yeah.
Maybe I was wrong. A Puerto Rican pop music. Maybe not Cuban.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny. Okay.
And then last one.
I'm trying to think. Who else would I like? Oh, I would like Missy Elliott. I would like to do Missy Elliott. Yeah.
Missy Elliott's type.
Yeah, I would love to do Missy Elliott.
You're how about what's her name? Ice Spice. You fuck with her vibe? Cause I know she's like coming up on the radar everywhere right now.
I think she's cool. My kids love her. Like the thing for me is like really authentic. Like, and I'm not saying that she's not. What I'm saying is I I was born in 93. Like literally, I was born Super Bowl Sunday when Michael Jackson was literally performing at the Rose Bowl.
That's hard.
Oh, wow.
That's
so
hard.
like when I was born into this shit, like I mean I was born into it. Like no cap, my mom's name is Billie Jean. So like y'all do the math. Yeah.
So dope.
So with that being said, I feel like I grew up listening to Left Eye, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, like you know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't got time for that.
That new shit.
Yeah, like the new shit. Like I'm trying to catch on how to use
She ain't
TikTok.
feeling you, bro.
Like, no, it's not that I don't feel her. Like I listen to her shit, but it's just like I don't feel like it would be great for the culture. Like just me personally. Like I want stuff that it's like, oh shit, I want that.
Two different vibes.
Two different vibes. I want that real 90s vibe back. And I think that we're missing that in the music.
So that's probably what you say one of your goals.
Yeah, to bring back real R&B, real hip hop.
I like that.
Real soul.
Yeah, I like that. We definitely have been missing on a little bit on that.
Yeah, because everything is so microwaved now. It's just like, here, you can go in there and you do this.
And
okay.
It's also trend driven too.
Yeah, it's trend driven. And that's crazy that you say that because I feel like when people ask like, oh, how long have you been doing this? Like, I'm a human first before I'm an artist. I'm a mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm sitting at home watching other people's interviews, it always gasses me when I be like, oh my God, people be like, oh, how long you been doing this? Oh man, I just started like last week and shit. I'm like, it's really motherfuckers out here that's been grinding blood, sweat, and tears. Like we've been doing this shit for a long time. And they're just giving motherfuckers a chance that like,
just has
you know
one
what I'm saying?
trend, you know?
And I'm not saying it in a cocky standpoint, but like, that's why, like, to a certain extent, Nipsey, his whole brand, his whole who he is, that's why it's part, like, I understand it. At first, I didn't really understand it. I didn't get it until me being an artist. I'm like, hey, you know what? I am the fucking marathon. Like, I'm sure you're a marathon. I'm sure you're a marathon. Like, we all are part of our own marathon. Like, I've been running a marathon. Nigga, I'm just not sprinting, getting up here saying, oh, I started rapping and I started singing like 2 months ago.
It's a grind.
It's definitely a grind.
The best part is that it pays off at the end, you know.
Yeah, of course. That's what it's all about. It's almost like, and that's why I compare it to like people having their children and stuff like that. People go through labor pains, and then when the baby comes, it's like you don't even realize none of that stuff that you were going through. It's all worth it in the end because it's like you reached your goal, and now it's like, okay, now let me do something else. Let me accomplish something else. So.
Definitely. So we definitely got a good idea of the top 3, well, top 6, you can say.
Yeah.
The 6 artists that Lummani would love to collab with. So that's pretty cool. And I mean, hopefully for the ones that are currently still alive, I mean, hopefully it happens. I would love to see that. That Bad Bunny would go crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Then John, what's the next question we have going on?
So the next question is the biggest regret and the biggest blessing in your career so far.
The biggest regret? Not telling these niggas the truth. Like, I think sugarcoating a lot of stuff, because sometimes it's like a lot of times in this, I don't want to say a lot of times, most of the time in this business, you deal with a lot of people who are sensitive. Like, they'll tell you they have thick skin and they have all this, but it's like, you can't even tell a nigga like, nah, bro, I'm not really feeling that song, or I don't really like this. Like, just, I really regret not being vocal, being honest about if I don't like something or not. Or
so would you give that as a tip? Like, would you tell somebody that's getting in the industry, like, hey,
what you say is just as important as how you say it. Like, I really had to work on that, because I'd be like, oh, I don't like that. Going like straight anxiety, panic mode. I don't like that. And it's just like, hey, let me talk to you outside for a second. You know, I really don't appreciate that song. I was like, I don't really like it. Like, that's super important to be vocal, because you could be, just because you play a song on blast don't mean that shit is a hit. You can listen to the song 20 times. It's like, nah, it's just not the one for me. Like, that'd be people's problem in the industry world. They think every song is a hit, and it's not. So
makes sense.
My biggest blessing in life, or just music?
In your career?
In my career, my biggest blessing is being an independent artist and like really accomplishing a goal. Like, I put out 2 music videos independently. Like, although I'm doing my EP project, and you know, like my guy Mars is executive producer, it's me doing that shit. Like, it's me paying for my photo shoots. It's me paying for like the listening session and stuff like that. It's me. 9 times out of 10, you'll have some producers that be like, you know, and they're mostly the OGs in the game, them where they actually believe and they're like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna do this shit for a favor and you know, whatever. It's mostly the older cats, but nowadays it's the newer cats that be like, nigga, I said I'm a single mother. I'm not working. I'm an entrepreneur and you're trying to charge me how much? All right, I'm gonna show you that I'm really with the shit. So, okay, ching, cash app goes off. Like, I told you that I was ready for this shit, so I'm gonna need you to believe, because if I believe, my kids believe, my family believes, and now I got other motherfuckers believing that's on your team, you need to ride with me till the wheels fall off. But that's just how it goes.
So being independent, definitely.
Yeah, being independent, I think that's the biggest thing. It's the biggest blessing.
I believe that. I believe that too, because at the end of the day, you control your future.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes, but you get to learn, like, not really to depend on people, like, and that's what I really had to, like, learn the values of life, not really depending on people, because it's like, you know, as a kid, my dad didn't live in our household, but I always depended on him to come pick me up, and like that was like big, like, you know, I used to be that kid that's sitting on the curb waiting and shit, like, mama, I know he's coming, but like that shit right there will fuck up your whole mental, because it's like a guy, I hope you're listening, would be like, oh, I'm coming to pick you up and make plans and shit, and then they'll be late. My mind goes into that 7-year-old girl place where it's like, oh shit, like, is he not coming or what's going on? So it's the same thing for the business. Like, what you say is important as how you say it, and integrity. Like, if you're going to fall through and you're going to take this title and you're going to say, hey, I'm executive producer, hey, I'm your manager, hey, you know, okay, you're the artist, and you're going to get out here and really network and do the foot and groundwork, really fall through with what the fuck you're going to say you're going to do.
Definitely. I love those answers, actually.
Thank you.
And has there ever been anybody that gave you the, like, a criticism that stuck with you the most, or that's like gotten to you emotionally?
I just had lunch with this gentleman. Shout out to you, Hakeem Young. He gave me some amazing criticism that just stuck with me in the game for a long time. Like, the difference between staccato and vibrato, and those things is like staccato when it's like you're singing a note, they want you to be sharp with it, cut it off, like don't drag it on. Vibrato is you know, hang on to the note or whatever, right? And I'll never forget, this is when I had a deal with Universal. We were recording a song, and I mean, I was dead sick. I was 14. I didn't want to be in the booth. I wanted to be on my phone. He's like, put down that fucking phone. I don't give a fuck about none of that outside world shit. And at the time, it bothered me, but literally, I just had lunch with him last week, and I just was like, yo, I really love you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, when I work with other people, I'm like, I could work with, let's say I was working with Timbaland. That's one of my dreams, but let's say he says, oh, give me the note, staccato. I'm like, oh, Hakeem, nigga, I got this shit. Like, I learned from that. Like, I think, and a part of it is like, in the real world of me, outside of my career, my mom is always like gave me tough love. She just was that type of mom where she's like, oh no, your titties is too big in that top. Don't wear that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I see stuff all the time. Girls' titties be droopy and shit. Like, damn, your homegirl didn't tell you to change your top. That shit look ugly, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just like, for me, I love criticism because I know that you really fuck with me in the long run. You're gonna tell me like, oh, bitch, your wig is slipping. Pull it forward. You know, I don't like that nail color and you don't get it no more. Or, you know, you got lipstick on your teeth. Those things, no. Like, it's tough love that really helps you in the long run, whether it's in life or whether it's in a career path that you chose.
Yeah. So, is it too real is it too fake being too real?
Is it too fake being too real? No.
To some people.
To some people, it may be, teach his own, but no, I don't think it's too fake to be too real.
You need that shit.
Like, there's so much shit going on. Like, it's so crazy. Like, again, don't come for me, but it's like, I have nothing against girls who want to get their body done. Shit, I've even thought about doing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the world that we live in. Like, oh, is he going to value me? Is he going to love me because I have all this stuff done? But it's like, I hear in these raps, it's like, oh, only thing is fake is the boobs. Like, yeah, right. Your fucking ass is fake. What the fuck are you talking about? But everybody's singing along because it's with the hype. It's the trend right now to be like, oh, this. My thing is, because I'm learning, and the men that I deal with is like, I deal with real niggas. Like, in my camp or dudes that I'm talking to, I deal with real men that are like, okay, what's she gonna look like when she's 40? Like, okay, you just now hitting 30. I'm in the gym 3 times a week working out. Like, and I'm not really big on the gym. I don't like it. Every time I'm in the gym, I'm like, I'm just gonna go get a tummy tuck. I'm gonna do all this. I don't want to, you know? But with that being said, I still be like, man, I can't give up the real me to be infatuated with what else is going on, because I'm gonna stand out for the real girls who maybe can't afford the tummy tuck, who can't afford to go get all this stuff done. Like, hey man, you just gotta use what you got.
Fucking Kardashians, bro.
Yeah, man. I always go back, and you know what gas me is, like, I watch the Kardashians every now and then, but I go back and I be like, the internet is so crazy how you can go back and look at pictures and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's what they look like?
Like, damn.
Money,
And then
money.
what gasses me is, like, especially men in the industry, because I have this conversation all the time, household or studio. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers be recycling people. Like, in the world, the population, I don't even know the exact number, but it's so many people that we could be out here talking to, and niggas are just recycling. Like, why? Why are we recycling? Then I've come to my own terms that I feel like men in the industry, or just women in the industry, they're in a different tax bracket than we are. So they're probably afraid to talk to regular people because they don't know, like, oh, is she going to ask for a new car? Or is she, girls that they recycle, they're like, okay, well, I can afford her budget. I already know, because I already know what she used up for the last nigga. You know what I'm saying? So
I can afford her budget. That's funny.
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
Have you ever heard of the saying that you're not ugly, you're just broke?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's crazy to me, because I feel like
Money is
so powerful, right? Mm-hmm. But I was talking to this one guy, and I mean, he was dealing with somebody before me. I think the lady he was dealing with before me, she's absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck how much money she got. Nigga, her insides is fucked up. Her insides is shitty. Like, I personally would say that, because that's just what I encountered from the vibe, from what I see, what I saw. Like, you could be so beautiful, but when I see people talking and people saying certain things, like, are you genuine? Like, are you really gonna look out for somebody? Are you gonna speak up in a room? Like, do you really care?
Yeah.
Money ain't everything, but it does make people like, oh, okay, she has the glitz and glam and stuff like that. How I always feel like right now, if I was to take this fucking wig off, I still know I'm a bad bitch under this wig, like cornrows and all. Like, I know that I'm good. I know when I go to a nigga house and I go to a nigga house and I take my makeup off, I know that I'm still decent. Like, people put all that shit on. It's like, yo, it's cool every now and then, but it's just like, nah.
Nothing will ever top natural beauty.
Yeah, no, not at all. Nothing would ever, like, why would you already fix what God already put his paintbrush on? Like, it's no point to try to change it. And it took me a while to get to that place, to really love who I am.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, definitely beautiful. But I think we take it to the very last question now. John, you want to, or George, one of you guys?
So a question that they asked is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a good question, and I love to answer that question, like, just off the top, like, not even thinking about it. Yeah. Oh, I see myself with the brand, and I see myself, being very successful, financially stable, well off. I have hit records. I have, on tour. But the real me answer is like, nigga, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you really think about it? Because when you go 5 years, it's like 5 years just passes by.
Yeah.
Like, it takes, like, building an artist and doing things as such as, like, getting an artist ready, artist development, getting your songs ready, getting music ready. 5 years done passed us by already, it seems like. Just speaking for myself. So the initial answer will be like, man, I would love to see myself well off. I would love to see myself have a few business deals, endorsement deals, well off, financially stable. Shit, 5 years, I want to still be fucking alive. But the truth, like, and that's where I feel like people are missing the authenticity, or however you say the fucking word, whatever. However you say it, people are missing that in their true value of who they are. Like, nigga, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Matter of fact, where do you see yourself in 6 months? Like, what's going on? Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen when you wake up. Like, you don't really know. It's just the plan of writing those goals out and trying to accomplish them daily. You have to live every day like it's your last. Like, really. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
I like that. That's definitely a very good answer, and a very good, just a way to, like, end it off. Like, you really just set the tone. Like, that really made me think, and I hope whoever, like, if you're watching this, I hope you're thinking about that right now.
Yeah.
Living like it's your last day. It's 100% true. But no, definitely. I mean, Lummani, it was a pleasure. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
The whole vibe. Everything was dope.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I love how honest you are, and
that's what we like.
Yeah, like, there was definitely no
holding back.
Yeah, no holding back, and nothing you said felt like, is she bullshitting on this?
It
felt like genuine,
Nah, I just think for me, honestly, I just watch other people's interviews and I'm like, Oh my God, is that really your fucking answer, yo? Like, I can't believe they just said that dumb shit.
No, definitely. So, Lummani, it was a pleasure, guys. Make sure you guys.
Thank you.
All her links are in the description. Please go check them out. Go give her a follow. Go give her a listen. She is gonna really, really, really take over.
Okay.
She's gonna help us put Dina on the map.
That's for sure.
Sweet Action, Lummani, and everybody in Pasadena. We all. It's our duty.
It's our duty
to stop being in LA's shadow and get Sweet Action up there. So, John, I think it's time we wrap up this episode.
Yeah, of course, definitely. And thank you guys for tuning in and checking us out. Checking out Lummani on it is May 16th or May 19th because we gotta double check that, right?
We'll confirm the date.
Yeah, I'll confirm it. I'll confirm it
in the description.
We'll have it on the screen. The description are everywhere. But make sure to check out that EP coming out soon. Hopefully, we can have you back again.
Of course, anytime.
With another update.
I'm pulling up. Just
Her pull-up game is strong, she said.
Yeah.
And again, to recap, all the Cuban, Puerto Rican poppies have those DMs ready to fucking send, my guys.
Oh my goodness.
I'll go ahead and I'll let Kelsey finish it off for me.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate Lummani for coming in.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much.
Peace out. Love y'all.
Guys. Oh
Man, that was
such a good episode.
I loved it.
Yeah. I know people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. If I would have said names, it really.